I'd like to welcome you guys this week's report. Today is Thursday, April 16th, day after tax day. Hope you guys got your taxes done. I got mine done at the very last minute, thankfully. But yeah, if you didn't, I hope you got an extension. Anyway, it's a nice day here in Southern California. A little breezy this afternoon, and the weekend doesn't look much different. We got a little bit of a southeast wind tomorrow morning, and then Saturday and Sunday look pretty calm in the mornings, and all 3 days we have a little bit of west wind in the afternoon. Pretty typical as we get into the warmer months here that pattern exists. So if you're on a private boat and you want to fish, I'd fish early. If you're going to an island that's far away, I'd leave early so you don't get too much wind on the way back. But should be good in most areas. There's a little bit of wind on the outside, so boats fishing Sand Neck might have a little bit of breeze, but they're usually bigger boats and don't have to worry about that. So before I get into the report here, if you guys aren't fishing Saturday, another reminder to come by the Channel Islands Hold 'em in the Harbor poker tournament for CCA. Still some spots available. You can register online, or you can show up day of and sign up there. It's at the Channel Islands Yacht Club. Speaking of the Channel Islands, there's been more coverage up there lately. I know the rockfish are still biting well with the boats fishing up there, and there are also some halibut biting. Both the Aloha Spirit and the Gray Light have got some nice halibut this week. To go along with their rockfish. I think they're getting them on flukes probably, if I know anything about the fishery up there, and maybe dropper loop baits. But good sign there. We're on coming off the new moon, or just going on to it right now. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. The next full moon we'll have some more action up there on the sea bass might show up. Still not a lot of squid up that way from what I've heard, unless it showed up in the last couple days. So if you're heading out there, you're gonna want to bring some sardines, or anchovies, and bring your white flukes. That seems to be the hot lure up there. Sand Neck and SBI, I know the guys fishing at Sand Neck are catching rockfish, the Eldorado, the Coronados, those boats going out there catching whitefish, sheephead, and then going out deeper and catching rockfish, and vice versa, starting deep, going shallow later. Probably be okay fishing out there this weekend. I would check the weather before you go though. And SBI is biting a little bit. Guys are getting some sea bass and halibut there. I don't know the details. Everybody that does that kind of stuff is really tight-lipped. And I think some of the full day trips, 3/4 day trips, wherever they are out of San Pedro and Long Beach, are running out there and not telling anybody because they don't want anybody out there. So it's an island that if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably not going to catch anything. So private boaters, I'd advise you to, if you just want to get sea bass or halibut, there's easier places to fish. And if you see a boat there fishing, most of those spots are one boat spots, so you can sit and watch, or you can do something else. But there's also good rock fishing out there, like I talked about last week. Yeah, I'll tell you guys what, I'm not really one to start and stop my videos constantly, but I'm having a hell of a time getting it out today, so I apologize for that. At San Clemente, I know the Thunderbird was out there earlier in the week. They had yellows and halibut, not wide open, but they caught a few fish. There's also good rock fishing there in calico bass for the sport boats. Private boaters looking to fish calicos could probably go out there and have a good day. There's also some opportunity on the front side to catch those smaller yellows and bonita and stuff like that along that 15 fathom curve on the front side of the island. Or you can fish calicos on the back side, east or west end. The weather is going to be a little breezy in the afternoons this weekend, so I would definitely not stay out too long. If it starts to get breezy, go home so you don't get beat to death. And yeah, so not a lot to report on out there. But the at Catalina, they're still catching a few yellowtail. I know the Pursuit got some fish earlier this week. Last week it was live squid that was getting them. I did see that they had some fish on service iron this week, so maybe that's changing up a little bit. I think they're probably fishing somewhere on the backside towards the west. They're not showing any background in the pictures, but I don't know. If I was going to look for yellows at this time of year, I'd probably be on Farnsworth Bank before the sport boats get out there. It's pretty far for them, so they're not there till like 9 or later at the earliest. So I'm not saying they're fishing there, I don't know. But this time of year and the size of the yellows they're catching, there's a good chance they are. If you go to the Farnsworth, you know, you don't want to be right on top of the pinnacles. You get broke off, you hook anything of size. When I fish it on my skip, I'll get out there, and the days that the yellows bite out there, there's usually bird activity going on. So if there's no birds, you're probably not likely to catch yellows, but you know, you could. Caught them a few times with no birds around, but normally they're a pretty good indicator because those birds are on Yellowtail, they're on bait, And if I'm not seeing birds, I'll meet around looking for bait balls. Unlikely you're going to meet your yellows. And you don't have chum to keep them with the boat anyway, so just fish the jig around the bait balls. And a good way to catch yellows on the jig at Farnsworth or any deeper structure is to throw a surface iron out and let it sink down to wherever you know the bait is. So let's say there's bait 60 feet down, bomb a cast out, free spool the jig down, and then do like a 45-degree angle retrieve, stop and go retrieve, or speed up, slow down. And I've caught a lot of yellows out there on skips with no chum, not anchoring up, nothing, just find the birds, find the bait, make casts like that, keep an eye out for fish coming to the surface or birds coming down intently looking at something. If birds are on bait, they'll just pick around and fly around. If they're seeing yellows or any other game fish for that matter, they're going to lock in and they're going to stay tight to that one area. So if you see a couple turns looking hard, I would throw a cast so you get your lure right past them or right underneath them. A lot of times there'll be a yellow. Bass guys are doing good over there still. I did not make it out this week due to work. But Oliver and I continue to go over there and slay him. He's had a ripper hard bait bite going on there for a couple weeks now. And he's fishing his, they're called Biwa, Farfalle or Raphael, or I don't know. It's, I'll maybe put the name in here or let him say it on one of the videos he sent me.
Okay, I'm pretty sure Riley had both of these bass on that lure initially.
The goldfish, baby.
Yeah, and it rolled off.
And he just ate it, and he ate this next?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it, oh, dude, that is a stud.
That's a nice one, baby.
That's a 5-inch raffle in the goldfish color. And that's the 6-inch 7. Man, that was a sick sequence. Nice work, boys.
Let's go.
This is what happens when you go from top dog to lower in the food chain. Ouch. Hey, nice fish.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me out.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Thanks a donkey, dude.
Oh, man, you're the donkey slayer today.
Here, Ollie.
Oh, man, a 7 smasher. This is the 6-inch 7 swim bait. This is a hard multi-jointed swim bait. This is one of my favorite colors for calicos in the Biwa lineup. This is Red Horse. And whatever a Red Horse is, calicos crush it. Look at this thing. That's another stud, man. We probably got close to a 30-pound bag here today between this and the raffle. Incredible. What an incredible fishery we have here in SoCal. See you guys at Day at the Docks. We might have some of these available.
Peace.
Dude, that thing's got a crush. Look at this. Here's our big fish. New potential length record. We're about to release her and the rest of the 30 bag that all have the rest of their tails. And then always point it towards the camera. Yeah. Back up, D, you're too close. Back up, back up. And you gotta do it when they're ready. See, like,
Trying to get her.
she wasn't really ready.
Damn it.
Dude, what are you doing? He's not even pointing the camera. You guys. Look at that, guys. We are ending the day here. That is, see, let me catch up. 1, 2, 3. We're sitting on 95. And they are crushing the new Biwa soft S trout. This is the 200 size. And literally ate it at the boat at Riley's feet. Such a fun bait. Such a fun day. Fun crew. Big Bass Dreams, baby.
But fishing hard baits for calicos, you know, in tight there, that's a lot of fun. You can throw it in the boiler zone, you can throw it through isolated stringers, do whatever. And he's catching them on the baits he's using and doing really well. I think he had 100 fish one day. But they'll bite a variety of baits. I like to fish a little bit bigger hard bait over there, get away from those smaller fish, and a lot of that, you know, 10 to 12 inch calicos. So you get upsize a little bit, throw something a little bit bigger. Sometimes that bigger silhouette will draw a bigger bite. And often there you get, you know, a small one on one of the hooks and a big follower will come in and eat the other hook, and hopefully get them both. I didn't make a lot of notes today, I apologize for that. Rockfish are still an option over there. Same in Celemente, same everywhere else. And there's still some bonita on the front side, east end. Last week when I was over there, I saw Vaughn Podmore fishing flies, not chumming anything. Catching, you know, nice 3 to 5 pound bonita, 3 to 4 pounds. If you want to find those, I would start at the rock quarry and look towards Avalon. You know, just running 90 feet of water, same 15 fathom curve that they have in Clemente on the front side. And you control a small crankbait or a Lucky Craft DD100 or something like that. And you'll meter bait, and once you meter bait, you'll troll through it and usually get bites. Good trolling speed is about 4 knots, no faster. Those crankbaits dig a lot, and they, you know, they tend to roll if you want them too fast. So, you know, that's a good medium speed. And like I said, once you find fish, they'll stick with you a little bit. You can catch 3 or 4 more, and you know, before you have to move again and find more. Just casting and retrieving those lures. Locally, I haven't heard a ton. I know that most of the boats are fishing rockfish. Last week, the bass fishing was pretty tough for me at PV. I told Matt he'll bring Mike up there tomorrow and he canceled on me, but he's off tomorrow, and knowing him, I'll get a call about 7 o'clock when he wakes up with his mind changed. He's like, "Oh, stay home and paint," and then we'll see how that works out. So I might be fishing there tomorrow. Yeah, so there's actually some happening along the coast down in San Diego. Yellows are biting down there. Somewhere off Point Loma or La Jolla, I don't exactly know where. Private boaters have been getting them pretty consistently, fish up to about 40 pounds. I know the new C4's got into them pretty good on their half-day trip the other day and loaded up. So a lot of that's later in the day. And for the most part, those guys down there, they slow troll baits or dragger pulls and stuff like that, or fly line baits, and basically none of the stuff I like to do. So I will not be going down there and catching those. Coronados are still biting. It's hit and miss. Some days are good, some days suck. Weather has a lot to do with it. Sounds like, listen to the reports down there, the days where it's, you know, southeast wind, they always say wind out of the south, fish close their mouth. Might be the case. So Friday morning may not be the best day to go. Saturday or Sunday look a lot better. And they're catching those fish on fly line baits and gator jigs for the most part, with the occasional surface iron fish in there as well. I say this all the time, with private boaters, you're better off avoiding the fleet and looking for similar conditions at different spots. Look for areas of birds that are actually working. Avoid dirty bird piles. So if you see a bunch of birds, it's pelicans, seagulls, cormorants, and everything, they're not on yellowtail. They're on bait. If it's just terns, a few seagulls, tight, looking hard, working an area, you got a much better chance of catching yellows. So, down south, the bluefin are biting. Well, there hasn't been anybody down there except the long range boats the last few days, but last few days ago, there was fish caught 75 to 80 miles from Point Loma, and I know there's overnight trips online this weekend, and there's also 4 packs running trips. I know that Brandon Hayward has a trip going Saturday, I think, and a few other boats are trying to get trips off the dock to go find these fish. The thing is while those fish are at 75 to 80 miles, looking at the temperature charts and chlorophyll charts, I don't really see an upper barrier to that area. And I'm going to do a little video in my ops here explaining that. Alright, as you can see here at the bottom right hand side of your screen, there's some fish caught down here by the 1140 finger. I don't even know those zones out there, outside of Punta Banda. And so that's like 80 miles. And people are thinking there's fish in between there. And the point, I don't see why not. You can see it that area of darker orange. It's all the same water all the way up to the upper hidden bank, 475. As we start to get this uphill push, it should, probably be a place where those fish can be found. Just got to find out where they're at in there. So to get a better idea, we're looking at our chlorophyll chart. This is the composite, but the same area where those fish were, they were on an edge of dirty water down there and into the clean water. And at the top end of that, just above the hidden, is another dirty edge. You can kind of see how it swoops around there along the coast and then out in that deep water, that kind of a plume. So there's no reason those fish couldn't be anywhere in that circle there. And also there's another smaller one above it below the Coronados. So I don't know. I don't really see any barrier to entry for these fish. Good water color, good water temperature, lots of bait. So hopefully they slide up. But if you're going looking, I would just look at the banks around the areas that have similar water. You don't need to spend a lot of time there. Just pull up, glass around. See any birds, any signs of life, go check it out for a couple of minutes. If not, on to the next one. Keep running, keep looking. That's how you catch tuna. So the last thing I want to mention here is some unsolicited life advice that I've given in the past, maybe a couple times, but I was reminded of it again this week. On Wednesday, yesterday, I had to deliver some stuff before our chapter banquet on Saturday. I had to deliver some stuff from our opposite ocean side up to Camarillo, and the shortest route was up the 5 freeway through LA and everything onto the 101. And while I was doing that, I drove by and sat in bumper-to-bumper traffic through LA and drove by my old stomping grounds work-wise around the printing industry and I could see the off-ramps and think about the companies I used to work with and the clients I'd go see. And I think about how miserable I was back then sitting in that traffic. And, I can't tell you guys enough that no matter where you're at in life, if you don't like your job, you don't like your career, you're miserable, you're just waiting for the weekend, just do something. I mean, if you got 5 kids and a wife that's pregnant, you're living check to check, you got to work. But if you're lucky enough to have the ability to redirect what you're doing, I've talked to several guys that have heard my advice in the past, and at 40 years old or 35 years old, they have quit their jobs and gone and done something else, and it's scary, but it's so much better in the end. And this is I know I've talked about this before, but I was thinking about it and I wanted to share it again in case you guys haven't heard it. I changed careers at 40 from the job I'd always had, and I changed careers again at 54 years old to doing what I'm doing now with CCA. And one of the reasons I was able to do that is because I didn't chase a bunch of shit I didn't want just because I was unhappy with my job. A new car, a vacation somewhere, all these different things. All these things you think you need. I gotta go on this long range trip. I gotta do whatever. I need to go to Vegas for the weekend and blow $5,000. I gotta do all these different things. I need to lease a new car. I need a new boat. 90% of that stuff people do because they're bored or they're unhappy. And I know that for a fact because I was. And when I was working in the printing industry, I get a new truck every couple of years basically just because that was the one thing I could control in my life, because I wasn't happy with my work. And I was successful, but I was miserable. So yeah, I'll buy a new truck, I'll be happy for a month. Or hey, let me go down to Puerto Vallarta and go charter a yacht for 2 days. Oh yeah, that was great. Or if fishing sucks or the weather sucks, and it sucks, and then you're unhappy again. So if you're finding yourself just trying to buy or do things that are going to make you happy, you should really look deeper into what's unhappy in your life and change that. And it's not a matter of dying with $1 million or $10 million in the bank. It's a matter of living the life you have. And we spend a good percentage of our waking hours working. Especially if you work for CCA at most weekends. But I do it because I love it, and I feel positive about what I'm doing, the impact I'm having on other fishermen. Makes me a happier person, makes me more content with my life. And it's I wish someone had told me many years ago. I probably would have quit the printing industry when I was in my 20s and not 40. So that, yeah, if you're young and you're hearing this, this is your tap on the shoulder to say, hey, that's enough. I need to do something else. So, same thing with relationships, be it friends, be it family, be it your wife or husband. Can't do it with your kids, obviously, but if you're not happy with the relationships you have, just let them go and move on. I've often talked about the difficulties I've had with my family. It used to really bother me because I wasn't in control of the situation. And I felt like a victim because I was being made unhappy by people, and I felt out of control of the situation. But it wasn't the people that were making me unhappy, it was the fact that I was unhappy and allowing the people to affect me. So the people in your life don't need to change, you just need to change how you think about them. And same with jobs, everything else, you know, just decide who you are, what you want to be, what you want to do, what you'll accept from people, what you won't accept from people, what you really want. And if you do those things or work towards those things, you're going to be a much happier place overall. And, you know, I'll tell you what, you know, if my garage were to collapse on me tonight, I would say I don't have any regrets. I've had a good life, and I've lived the life I want to live, and I went through some difficult times that I didn't like, but it led me here. So, even if it seems overwhelming, and I know I'm not speaking to everybody here right now, but there's probably somebody watching this that needs to hear this. Just have confidence in yourself, take some chances, walk away from something that's not working, and just move on with your life. And it'll be better in the future. Couldn't make it worse, right? So, there you go. That's my advice. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend and good luck with fish.